He has somewhat of a radical, very pro-women liberation point of view. And today he's going to tell us, as women, how we can attain greater enlightenment. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Well, good morning, Rita.
I know you're here for a conference that's going to be at the Kiva Conference Center, which is the Scottsdale Hilton, and that's going to happen on Wednesday, March the 21st and the 28th, and we will know more about that, too. You know, in reading my press material about you, it's very interesting. You're a very well-educated person, and kind of different in your opinion about women. From reading about this, you say that everything is reversed in this age, that for women to attain enlightenment, she must realize her true aspect is power. Mm-hmm. Do you, which is unusual as a man, feel that women are more powerful than men?
Oh, most certainly, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, from a point of view of meditation, let's say that women have an inner power that men don't. We know that women's bodies are stronger than men's. Mm-hmm. They can endure greater temperature changes, heat, cold. There are physiological differences. But from a psychic point of view, women just have a stronger energy. They can bear more and endure more. It's interesting because everything is reversed in this age. We think that men are stronger, more potent, more able. The reason, of course, we think that is that's what men have always said. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And they were the ones writing the books and doing all the things?
Doing the history. Yeah. You know, we're dealing with the systematic suppression of over half the human race. And, you know, it still goes on today in this country, other countries.
But is that a problem? I mean, aren't things going along, I'm playing the devil's advocate here, but sure. Aren't things going along okay?
Not really, no. It's still a tremendous difficulty to enter into most careers, as I'm sure you know. The pay scale is not the same. There's lots of physical violence abounding. And this is the most enlightened country in the world. Mm-hmm. Things are relatively good. But we're dealing with thousands of years of oppression. And while the job situation and the vote may now be here, there's a conditioning that affects all of us, both men and women, that we've been brought up with, and we just think that's the way it is.
But why do women become dependent on men?
Women become dependent on men for a variety of reasons. The system is really stacked against them. Women are, of course, denied mobility, educational privilege, economic livelihood. Even in the world of certain religions, for example, women are denied the ability to have leadership roles. You're brought up and told that you were the weaker sex, the fairer sex. You're given an image. And you begin to believe that image as you grow up. And it's reinforced not only by men, of course, but by other women, too. It's a very tricky situation.
What can men do to help alleviate this problem?
Well, I think both men and women have to start to examine things. In other words, just because one has the right to vote in their own property doesn't mean the situation is changed. If we think we've made it, we'll stop where we are now. We've just begun. A man has to, first of all, just consider what he thinks a woman is. Most men view women still as objects, not just sexual objects, but just a convenience item. It's what we call the Tupperware syndrome. Mm-hmm. You know, you just use it and put it away. Mm-hmm. The sensitivity that this is a human being that's as sensitive and aware and as able as you is really not there.
Yeah. Did this come about, your opinion, by something personally that happened in your life?
Well, let's say that I certainly had a mother who was fairly enlightened. As I was growing up, she was very interested in women's rights. She wasn't particularly militant. She just didn't think it was very nice for a woman to be beaten up and have no recourse, to go into a court and basically not be treated the same way a man would. I'm a teacher of meditation. I teach several thousand people to meditate every year. We have meditation centers in California, and we may open one here in Phoenix. And I work with both men and women. I'm open to both. But I see that women just have a terrible self-image. It's initially harder for them to meditate and just to get on in life, not because they're not designed that way. It's easier for women to learn to meditate, really, than men. But they have this awful image of themselves, and history reinforces it, schools, books, everything, media.
I wanted you to know at home that you will be speaking twice. Is this correct, the 21st and the 28th?
Yes.
At the Scottsdale Hilton, and that's at the Kiva Conference Center. If you want more information, it starts at 7 p.m. You might be able just to show up at the door, but I do have a number, 213-550-3922. That's 213 in California, 550-3922. Thank you
well,
very much for joining us. We should have more time to talk to you. Thank you, too. We love you. God bless you. Goodbye.